welcome to another Dalian Reads video. Today I'll be talking about Yellowface by R.F Kuang. I'm super duper excited to be talking about this book, mainly because I shared a vlog when I got it for the first time. If you remember, it's on my channel, and if you don't, and if you're new here, then hello, hi. There's a vlog in my channel that I'll be linking down below, documenting the day I got this book and the day I basically breathed the same air that R.F Kuang did in one of her events in Edinburgh, hosted by Topping & Co., which is a great bookstore that I recommend visiting all the time if you're ever in Edinburgh, because I really love that bookstore so much. It's so magical. I believe I have it on video as well when I went to Scotland for the first time and documented a bunch of bookstores there. Anyway, regarding the writing style, I have no complaints whatsoever about the writing style. I love R.F Kuang. The book wasn't very long, which is kind of shocking. I think it was like 300 plus pages only. I'm used to R.F Kuang's meatier books with the Poppy War trilogy and Babel as well, which I took ages until I finished. This was a shorter, faster read. It was different. It was very different than her usual approach. And I'll get into that in a second. I just wanted to appreciate her as a writer and her writing style. She's amazing, and you could tell in every writing project how well researched and well thought of her thought process is while working on the books. Not sure if it was her best book, but it's definitely up there. I think that this book was inspired a lot by maybe Rebecca's real life. I feel like she took inspiration a lot from her journey with writing and climbing the ladder to success, and her just being a Chinese American author and writing about like the opium wars and then jumping to a more academic based book with Babel. As I said previously, like very meaty books that she wrote, and they were very well researched. But with this one, it just felt like it was a piece of her. We got to see what she might have went through with publishing, and like the publishing industry is crazy according to this book. It's just very complicated, and although I know that it is hard to make it in publishing, and not everyone can be J.K. Rowling or Rebecca Kuang or all of these like amazing and sensational authors that are like best-selling basically. So here's where I'll be going into the synopsis of the book. There are like two best friends, Athena Liu, and we also have Jean-Pierre Song Hayward. They were like kind of like best friends, but not really. They went out on an occasional drink and just hung out like in separate occasions, and they went to university together. Now one is very successful and attained God status when it came to publishing. That is Athena Liu. She is exotic. She brings in the diversity element, which is what publishing is dying for. Like it is like the hot thing in the publishing industry. If you're diverse, if you're like a person of color, then you're welcome. According to her best friend, Jean-Pierre, who is just sitting on the sidelines observing the success of her friend and just being so jealous and envious of her success. Until one fateful night where after drinks, they go back to Athena's apartment, which is of course luxurious. Athena is celebrating a Netflix deal, an after party celebration kind of thing, but it's just the two of them in the apartment drinking and making pancakes. And they were so drunk that they were like having a contest while eating the pancakes, and Athena Lu chokes on the pancake that she was eating. Jean-Pierre, or Junie for short, does not know how to deal with it. Like, she thought that Athena was joking at first, and then she tried to save her. She tried to like take it out of her, tried everything, but Athena was choking and turning blue and kicking and clawing at her neck. She couldn't breathe. So finally, Junie phoned the emergency line. Next thing you know, Athena Lu is pronounced dead. Before Athena passed away, of course, she gave Junie a tour of this luxurious apartment. One of the places that she hit was, of course, the office that Athena works in. She observed a few papers on the table, and then Athena walked in and was like, yeah, this is like kind of what I've been fiddling with. I just finished it, and it's like my new manuscript, and no one has ever seen this before. And of course, she didn't show Junie what she was working on. She just like gave her like maybe a few papers just so that she would know what it is about, but not really. Athena was very pretentious with the way that she worked, according to Junie. She would work with a typewriter when she was in the writing process and drafted using her notebooks. And she did not use any type of notebook. She used the moleskin ones, which if you are a writer or if you maybe journal, you would know how good those notebooks are. Fast forward, Athena Lu is dead and Junie is a thief. She stole that manuscript that was typed up with the typewriter. She just stole it the night Athena died. There was this crazy idea where she decided, okay, I'm just gonna finish the manuscript and present it as my own to my agent. And then all the doors of success open for Junie. But little did she know that stealing came with a price. Okay, so there are a lot of points that I would like to discuss about this book, because this book was insane. Blew my mind how insane it is. Because like at the first chapters, I was furious. I wrote a lot of thoughts throughout the first chapters because Junie pissed me off. Like the way she justified her stealing that manuscript and then publishing it and then trying to shut anyone off who dared to challenge her when it came to this piece of writing. Because of course, like the manuscript did not scream Junie at all. She previously published a book that was fantasy related, and then suddenly she's jumping to Chinese labor workers and how they fit in World War I. Like, it is just not the topic that you would expect her to write about as a white American woman. This is something that screams Athena Lu. It screams a Chinese American writer. So of course people are gonna challenge you. Of course people are gonna question it, whether it's like the publishing company or editors or reviewers. The way she just justifies it, she's like, oh, I just polished it. It's not really stealing if, you know, she did not finish it and I finished it for her. It's like a conjoined work. And then like she tries to convince you that no, it's actually her original work. Athena was just an inspiration. In like the middle chapters till like the very end, like she actually has you believing that it was the right thing to do. The way that she was able to gaslight the readers, and me included, was just insane. And the way that Rebecca wrote this book, like she has you fooled. I guess that is the point. Like that is the point, that the reader gets convinced that doing this is the right thing. It's not wrong, and it actually happens in the publishing industry, according to this book, and maybe in real life, I don't know, but this makes you question a lot of things. And the second topic that I really want to talk about as well is diversity in publishing. Because according to the protagonist, the white protagonist in this book, like diversity is in and it's what's hip these days. I really have to like disagree with that. That really pissed me off, because first of all, that is no justification to stealing someone else's work. This is plagiarism. This is stealing. You learn this in college. You learn this in school. Like you're not allowed to do that. And there's nothing that justifies stealing someone else's work. She makes you like feel bad for her that, oh, she's white, so she's plain, and no one wants that anymore. Like, what? Like, do you understand how many successful white authors there are? It just depends on talent. The thing is, honey, you don't have it, and that's okay. Not everyone has the talent. Weaving a story and polishing it and making it a hit. There are a lot of white authors that are successful because A, they're talented, and maybe some of them are more privileged, and that's why they get the best deals probably, and that's why we see a lot of white writers in the bestseller list. Her argument made no sense at all, and I guess that was the point as well of this book, is that her trying to convince you that, hey, diversity is just selling right now, and that's why these colored authors are getting ahead. That's completely not the case at all. I feel like colored authors, especially females, they have to put in extra work just so that someone can notice them. There's like this point where at the end of the book where there's like this character that I'm not gonna mention, I'm not gonna like ruin the book for you, but this character comes face to face with Junie and talks about like token diverse people of color in the publishing industry, and how when they already have an Athena Liu type of author, that it is even harder for other colored authors to come up, because the publishing house is like, we already have a diverse colored person. Like, we already, for example, have Athena Liu, we have a Chinese American author, we don't need other Chinese American authors. And so it becomes harder for other people of color to come up, especially like in this instance Chinese Americans, and maybe like in other instances it's like Black Americans or Arab Americans or Hispanics or other people of color in general, like face this in real life as well. Like, Junie's argument made no sense at all, but at some point in the book she convinces you that it does make sense, and it's insane. This book also discussed racism in the publishing industry, and how conversations happen during meetings, and how microaggression is a thing. And I've dealt with microaggression in real life. Like, when I was studying abroad, I did deal with it. So when I noticed it in this book, it just irked me so much, because I know exactly what that is. It's just like small little comments that the person that utters them thinks that is fine, but when you're a person of color, you know there's something behind that innocent comment. And the publishing industry, according to this book, is no stranger to that as well. So I loved the fact that this was highlighted in the book. And Junie's character was basically being racist like throughout the book, and I've highlighted a lot of paragraphs, sentences. She said and did a lot of things that indicated that she was racist. But she would say that, oh, I know that you would say that I'm racist, but no, hear me out. And then she would justify it. I wasn't really convinced. But the thing is, Junie's character was probably exaggerated to some. If like you would read this, you'd be like, oh, this is overly comical. She's comically racist. But I truly believe that there are people like this. I don't know if R.F Kuang intended for her to be comically racist, but to me personally, I feel like there are people who are exactly like Junie, maybe even worse. I don't know. The thing is with this book is that not only did I not like Junie and found her really irritating throughout the book, I also did not like Athena Liu. This might come as a shock for some people because like we didn't get to know her much. She literally died in the first chapter. But as I gathered information about her throughout the book, I just thought that Athena was a horrible person and she was really stuck up. I think that the author intended to make us feel that way about Athena as well. Both characters were really annoying, to be honest. But that is precisely the point. Again, now coming to the ending of the book, I thought that it was the best ending that it could have had, because it was kind of like an open ending. At the final chapters of the book, things escalated in a way that I didn't expect. A fight was gonna break for sure, like something was gonna happen, but I did not expect it to happen like that. It leaves room for interpretation. So what I thought happened is that maybe Junie lost her mind completely, like she became delusional. She became so delusional. I think that maybe she had an episode where she was like imagining that she is still gonna succeed in a way, and she was still gonna be able to cover her trail in a smart way. I don't want to give up the ending for you, but I just think that it was kind of good that the author decided to give it this type of ending. I know that this opinion is not as popular as I would love it to be, but I love me some open endings. When it came to this book, I'm happy. So my final thoughts regarding this book is that I really enjoyed the ride it took me through the publishing industry, and just like the joy of being successful and then the horrors of internet bullying. The internet is a vicious place. If you're canceled, if you're caught plagiarizing, if you're hated for something that you did, then it is horrible. I really enjoyed the story in general. It just opened my eyes when it comes to publishing a book and pitching an idea, finding an agent, struggling to make it to the top. I know that Rebecca F. Kuang was really passionate about this project, and she didn't think that people were gonna support it or even publish the book, I think. That's what I heard her say in the talk that I attended. But now that I've read the book, I understand exactly her fears, her thinking that maybe this is too much. It'd be just uncomfortable for people who maybe like think the way that Junie thinks. It might not be my favorite book by Rebecca F. Kuang, but it is still a contender. I still enjoyed it. I also really enjoyed the part where they spoke about book reviewers, because I felt seen in this book. I know I'm just as delulu as Junie is, but I just felt seen in this book, because not only did it talk about the publishing industry, it also talked about the book community in general. Whether you're a reviewer on Instagram, or you're a booktuber, or you have a book blog, or you're an author, it just spoke about the book community and the drama that revolves around it. So yeah, that is all for today's review. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up or comment down below your opinions. Maybe you've read this book, maybe you're planning to read this book. Do you love Rebecca F. Kuang? Do you not like her? Please comment down below. I love interacting with comments the most. See you in the next video. Bye!